you got to realize that whatever you're doing, you're competing with somebody. What is it that gives you an advantage over your competition? Whatever you're good at, try to be great at it. And if you're great at it, good things will happen.
Maverick Podcast.
I'm far from average. That's why I had to come sit down and chop it up with DJ Maverick. They know my name from coast to coast and even in Dallas. I use my talent when I'm faced with a challenge. Gratitude strength is my magnet. Close your eyes and imagine. If you can see it in your mind, then you can have it.
Maverick Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. This is the Maverick Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Maverick. Today we have a rock star in the building, the one and only Fabiola Roudha. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. You are the rock star here.
I don't know about that.
I'm so happy of being here. Finally, I am meeting you. So thanks for inviting me to your podcast.
If I was pretending to be a scientist and I wanted to put your vocal range together, I would probably do some Janis Joplin, some Alicia Keys,
Yes.
maybe some Adele, and then, I don't know, maybe sprinkle Alanis Morissette.
Really?
What do you think about that?
That's new.
Yeah?
Yeah. I love those artists. Janis Joplin was like a huge inspiration for me. When I saw her videos, my dad is a musician.
Really?
So
Okay.
he showed me all the music that I heard when I was little. Of course. This is my first podcast in English.
Yeah,
So
congrats.
sorry if I make some mistakes. Lo siento mucho.
Feel
But
free to mix it in.
Yeah, I'm
No
going to mix
problem.
it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
So Alicia Keys is one of my favorite artists also. When I heard her for the first time, I started like playing the piano
Okay.
and started making my own music. I was 13 years old. So you really nailed it.
Yeah, because when I was listening to your voice, it sounds really soulful. You do some R&B, but then I can also do some psychedelic or something.
Yeah.
I saw you do some covers of like the Beatles and stuff like that.
All the psychedelic rock from the 70s.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple. I love jazz, but also I'm a huge fan of Pink Floyd.
Okay.
So when I start making my own music after I won some singing competitions in Mexico,
Yeah.
I was signed by a TV station that was called TV Azteca. Then I start making my music as an independent artist. And I said, okay, I really like psychedelic rock and I love soul and R&B. So that's why I found a way of doing neo soul.
Yeah.
Neo soul is a music. You can mix there in that music the soul and psychedelic, jazz, rap, hip hop, anything you want.
For sure.
So I took like Pink Floyd, Alicia Keys, and I mix it in my music.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the singing competition because here, I guess the closest thing we have is American Idol. And what I see sometimes is they limit the artist. So they always like, hey, you got to sing this type of song. And sometimes it may not be a good fit, right? Like let's say you wanted to do R&B and they're like, no, you got to do Juan Gabriel. You got to do this pop song. They
have
try
to
to put
be
you in a
pop.
box, right?
Yeah.
Did that happen to you or not?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Imagine that my whole life before this TV program, I used to sing Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, Led Zeppelin, this kind of songs, no? So when I was in this competition, I remember that like the manager of the program, he told me, okay, all of this, you're not going to sing it here.
Really?
It was like, oh my God, when I get myself into...
So you submitted your favorites and they're like, not this one,
okay,
not this one.
not this one, not rock, not jazz, not soul, not R&B. And of course, you're not going to be singing in English. And I was like,
Wow.
okay. So I remember that they start giving me pop songs and I used to cry.
Yeah.
Like, why I'm going to lose the competition. But also I learned that you can find really good stuffs in all the genres of music, also in the pop. But yeah, they told me how to dress, what to say, what to sing, how do I do the look, looks, the clothes, everything. So it was really hard because my whole life I said to myself, I'm going to be a singer and I want to sing because I like music, not because I want to be famous.
That's very important.
And in that program, I knew a lot of people that they told me, I want to be famous. Okay, and what artist you like? No, I just want to be famous. But did you study music or something? No, you have to study it. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So I really start knowing the musical industry.
Yeah.
The pop musical industry.
How did you get that wide range of music just growing up in Guatemala? You're listening to Pink Floyd, you're listening to Aretha Franklin, all these artists. How did you get started with that?
My dad.
Okay.
He is such a great musician. He used to be a piano player, classical piano player. But then he started making, how do you say, anuncios publicitarios?
Yeah, just like commercials.
Commercials, yeah. Él se convirtió en un productor
so a commercial
de publicidad.
producer. Okay.
Yeah. So he showed me all this music. Like he gave me CDs of Mariah Carey. Well, we start, the first CD that he gave me was from Ella Fitzgerald.
Really? Okay.
And I remember that
setting up the bar high.
Yeah. I was maybe like 6 years old, something like that. And I remember that there was one song that was called It's Too Darn Hot. It's too darn hot. I like to surf with my baby tonight. And it was like, I really like her voice.
Yeah.
Then he gave me a MTV Unplugged of Mariah Carey.
No way.
But in that MTV Unplugged was also Aretha Franklin
Okay.
singing with Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
So when I heard Aretha Franklin, I was like, what is this? I want to be a soul singer.
Yeah.
And there's when it starts,
Yeah, that's amazing because when you say I want to be a soul singer, that's a different type of singing, right? You have to do runs, you have to sing.
You have to play piano because it's like something that you have to do when you do soul. It's very, it's curious because if you like blues, you have to play the guitar. If you like soul, you need to know how to play the piano.
True.
So it's like, it's like that.
Most recently, I saw that you were singing for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
What the heck? No problem, right? You're like, okay, full stadium, I'll do the anthem, no problem.
Yeah, no, that's a funny story because I was in Korea, in South Korea. I went there because they invited me to sing into festivals.
Okay.
So it was my first time singing in Korea. And on September 6th, that is my birthday, I remember that I woke up and I really wanted to go to the restroom, but I was sharing the apartment with my musicians. So my bass player was in the restroom and I was like, Luis Pedro, hurry up, I want to go there. And because of that, I saw my cell phone and boom, this message. For me, it was like 5:30 a.m. And here in the United States was like, I don't know, maybe like 8 p.m., something like that, because we have like 14 hours of difference between the United States and Korea. So I read this message and it says, Fabiola, would you like to sing at the Dodgers Stadium?
And you're like, I just woke up. Let me read this again.
What's going on? And I read it again. And of course that I said, yes. Okay, they want you to sing at first the national anthem of Guatemala.
Okay.
It was like, okay, but are you in the United States? No, I'm in Korea. Actually, I'm in Korea. Are you going to be in the United States? No, but I can lose my flight.
Yeah.
My connection, because my ticket was Korea, Los Angeles, and then Guatemala.
Got it.
So they told me, okay, it's going to be on September 10th. So I said, yes. I lose my flight connection. Nice. I stayed at Los Angeles. And 2 days before the game, they told me, oh, it's going to be the national anthem of the United States.
2 days before.
2 days before.
No practice.
No, nothing.
Did you know the lyrics? Did you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was okay. And then I remember that they sent me like a letter. And like they said, please sing the national anthem with the right pronunciation, with the right words. You are not going to have a rehearsal. And I was really nervous. But it was such a great experience, a great opportunity as a Guatemalan singer to be the first Central American singer to sing the national anthem of the United States.
What I see with the national anthem, a lot of people try to get too fancy.
Yeah,
they do a lot of runs. They try to get fancy, and that's when sometimes people get in trouble.
I know.
So, but at the same time, you're like, this is my one shot. I want to do good. I want to prove what I've got. So when you were thinking about it, what were you thinking? You're like, okay, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to play it safe. What were you thinking?
First, I heard, and I make this research of many artists that have already sing at the Dodger Stadium.
Like top 10 national anthems.
Because the difference is that this that a musician is with you in this national anthem, but it's an organ.
Yeah.
Es un órgano, o sea, te acompaña un organista.
And then the delay in the stadium.
It's something,
it's
very
cool.
difficult because you hear it in the in-ears. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I make my research and I said, okay, I'm going to start the national anthem as the original, you know? And then I'm going to start to making these feels and some stuffs that are from myself when I sing. So when I was there, I was really nervous. My legs were like shaking. And when they said my name, Fabiola Roudha, and the national anthem starts, I just went with the flow.
No
that
practice,
moment.
nothing beforehand.
Nothing.
Wow.
And
that takes guts.
Yeah. And I never thought it was going to get viral in my country.
Yeah.
But it was such
Congrats.
a great experience.
You did an amazing job. You had the jersey repping Guatemala.
I have the jersey of the Dodgers.
Yeah, that was really cool. I was excited when I saw that. The other thing that I saw was you and Daniela Romo, which Daniela Romo, she doesn't really do features with people.
Sometimes all the people tell you, oh, don't do that because it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Don't dream big.
Don't dream big. And sometimes you just have to do it. I remember that on 2022, I was recording my album Un Viaje en Espiral. But in that process, I started making a song in the piano. And I said, okay, this is not soul. This is not R&B. This is like a bolero.
Yeah.
And I have never made a bolero. But since the first moment that I started making the song, I don't know how to say it, like, I saw Daniela Romo singing that song with me. Yeah.
Daniela Romo.
Yeah.
Really?
And I started to make the song. I finished it. And I remember that I called Diego. Diego is such a great guitar player from Guatemala. He plays amazing the bolero and all this Latin music. So I told him, hey, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. I'm at home. I have a song. Yeah. And I'm going to sing it with Daniela Romo.
You said it right off the bat. You're like, it's going to happen.
Yeah, and he was like, really? Yeah, really?
Yeah.
So he went to my house. I did not play the song in the piano. We did it in guitar because it sounds better.
Yeah.
And we recorded with my cell phone. Then that was on December. Then on January 2023, last year, I saw that Daniela Romo was going to go to Guatemala for the first time.
Okay.
So I was looking for the producer of the event. I found her. It was the mother of a kid that used to study in the school of my little brother.
Incredible.
Everything was like connected there.
Like, this is going to work out.
Yeah. So she asked me for my material. She sent it to Daniela Romo. And she said, okay, I'm going back her to sing with me.
Yeah.
So I sang with her last year, and I did not show her the song that I made for her. So I wait like a few weeks after this show, and I sent this song to her. And on September of last year, near my birthday also, I don't know what happens in my birthday, but
sounds like you get everything you want for your
Dodgers
birthday.
this year, last year,
more dreams on your birthday.
Yeah. Someone was calling me by WhatsApp. And I said, okay, I don't know this number. Bam. I did not answer it. And then a message, hey, Fabiola, I love this song. We're going to do it.
So you didn't answer Daniela Romo, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Lo siento, Daniela, no te
Sorry.
contesté. Yeah, and really, this person that it's called Alejandra Tercero, she was like the key to get to Daniela Romo. You know, the mother of this friend of my my
odds,
little brother.
right?
Yeah, I know, and she really helps me to get to Daniela Romo. Then Daniela Romo says, yes, we recorded the song last year on November, and we just released this song.
It's a great track. You say bolero, but then on your parts, you can tell you get a little funky, a little soul, right?
I love Carole King.
Okay.
So the drums of this song is like 70s pop.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that. We try to make the bass a mix of bolero and a mix of 70 pops, like this song of the Eagles that it's called I Can Tell You Why.
Okay.
And I can tell you why. Yeah. So a line like that for the bass.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. That's classic.
I love that song.
Yeah.
And then the guitar, of course, is 100% bolero.
Yeah.
So it's this mix of 70s pop and bolero.
The bandana comes out.
Yeah.
You get more funkier, I think.
Yeah, I get more psychedelic also.
You start dancing, you get more in the groove. Like,
Yeah.
where do you think you feel more comfortable? What genres? Or you're like, genres, what are genres? I'll do whatever.
I feel more comfortable in soul and rock.
Okay.
I really love rock. You know, like Janis Joplin type of rock, Led Zeppelin. Like, I am another version of myself.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It comes through because you're just jamming out and you're dancing and you just ride the beat and you're like waiting just to like kill it.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I think whenever you're thinking about your musical upbringing, your dad, there was always like support probably because you said he was also a musician. So you come from a family of musicians, right?
Yeah. My grandfather and my family from my father comes from Tecpan.
Okay.
Tecpan is in Guatemala, the states are called departamentos, you know? Here you call it states.
Yeah.
So Tecpan is like a state from Guatemala. And my whole family, they are marimbistas. They play the marimba. The marimba is like the national instrument from Guatemala. I am so sad because I can't play marimba. And also my dad.
Leave a little bit for the rest of us.
Yeah. I am the singer of the family. But yeah, so all my family comes from musicians.
Yeah. So they were 100% supportive. They're like, yeah, you want to follow this dream? No problem. They were used to following a big dream because that's a big dream, right?
Yeah. They know it's hard because it's a hard career. It's not that easy. You have to work a lot. You need to learn a lot of things. Sometimes you got the right opportunities. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
It depends of a lot of things.
You also notice maybe a double standard because you being a woman in the music industry. Is that even one more, challenge, one more barrier?
It's always a challenge.
Yeah.
If you're a woman or if you're a man, you're going to have the same challenge in this industry.
Yeah.
Because I saw it also with some of my friends that are musicians. They are men and they have the same challenges as I.
Okay.
Maybe the biggest challenge for me is that in Central America, where I come from, Guatemala, there are not too many opportunities to make a big career in the music.
Okay.
So you need to fly to another country. You have to go to Mexico or Colombia or United States or Europe. It depends of the kind of music you want to make.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not only my case. It happens to all the artists from Costa Rica, Honduras, Panama, Salvador. You need to go out of your country.
Yeah, I would say probably, all the competitions, TV shows that you did probably put you on an international platform, right? So if you had to do it over again, would you take that route?
No.
You wouldn't? You're like, didn't even think about it. You're like, absolutely not.
Yeah, maybe not. Because I remember that at first, when I was going to enter to the first competition that was called La Academia, I remember that I was already making my own music, But then when I get into this competition, I was not available, or I was not like allowed. Sorry, I was not allowed to make original music.
Because of contracts?
Yeah,
or what?
because they don't want you to do that.
Okay.
So they stopped me like of creating.
Yeah.
And my dream since I was little was to create my own music, to be like Janis Joplin, like those artists that inspire me.
Yeah.
You know, to be a musician. Well, so maybe that's why I'm if I born again,
Yeah.
I will never get into a singing competition.
Yeah, because I've seen it where they just try to box you in, right?
Yeah.
And then they just expect you to do covers like all the time.
Or whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not what you want.
Yeah. The other thing I saw that you would take a song and you would flip it to where it becomes almost your version of the song, right? A lot of people do a song and it just sounds like a cover, but you change the pacing, you change the runs, right? So I don't know if you want me give me a little example, but let's say like you're going to do a Juan Gabriel song, or you're going to do a traditional sort of Mexican pop song, right? But the way you sing it, it's going to sound different.
Yeah.
Right?
I have a live session that it's called Siempre Sale el Sol / Cielo Rojo. And the first one is an original song. Like maybe it's my favorite song.
Yeah.
And the other one is a mariachi.
Okay.
It's a Mexican song from Flor Silvestre.
Oh, wow.
She's the original singer of this song. And if you heard the original song and then you heard
nothing to do with
because I took the song and I make this flip, as you said, and it's totally a psychedelic song.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Yeah.
You need to hear it. It's like if this song is from Pink Floyd, something like that.
Yeah.
So you need to listen to this cover. And I also do it with songs of Juan Gabriel. Like I change the tempo, sometimes the key of the song. But there are some songs that you have to sing it as they are, you know.
I think it's funner the way that you do it, though.
Yeah, it's funnier. But for example, the songs from Queen, the band, it's really hard to change them.
True.
Yeah. You can play it like in acoustic version.
Yeah.
But doing something else, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that about you. And I think I'm trying to think of like, what would you say is the Spanish version of soul music? I can't think of an artist. What would you think that's like, this is like soul music, but Spanish? I don't know.
I heard an artist and producer from Colombia. He makes soul in Spanish, like a mix of soul and R&B. And sometimes he adds like reggae. He's called Juan Pablo Vega.
Okay.
He's producer from many famous artists also, but he has his own music. He does also soul.
Got it.
And there are some bands like NAFTA from Argentina that they mixed funk and soul. They have really great music. So like we are a few
little pockets.
Yeah,
right?
but we made it like in our way.
Yeah.
I think my soul have more like psychedelic stuff and neo soul stuff. NAFTA is more like funky. Juan Pablo Vega is more like reggae soul. So we have our own sound.
I love that. One of the things I always ask my guests, if I pull up your playlist, who am I going to find on your playlist?
Oh, you're going to find a lot of crazy stuffs.
Yeah?
I like, for example, King Gizzard and Lisa Wizard.
Okay.
Iados Coyote, which is my favorite band of neo soul. Alabama Shakes, which I love this band. But also you're going to hear their Led Zeppelin, sometimes jazz, the Beach Boys,
No way.
Janis Joplin, of course, Alicia Keys, Lauryn Hill.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe, what do you think about like Frank Sinatra, Michael
I
Bublé, stuff like that?
Yeah. I love Frank Sinatra. Ella Fitzgerald,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah. What about like Al Green? Like if you think of like Let's Stay Together,
Yeah.
I can only imagine what you would do with that song.
Great song. Yeah. All Green, Marvin Gaye, also Bill Withers.
Yeah.
All these artists.
I love that you're not afraid to experiment, right? Because I think you also experiment with maybe some K-pop.
Yeah, that's true. That's a crazy part of my life.
Looking back, you're like, what was that?
It was like, okay, Fabiola, what were you thinking? Yeah. I remember that I went to China They invite me there to sing at the final of El Mundial de Tenis Mesa, like the final of ping pong. How do you say Mundial de Tenis Mesa?
Just the World Cup.
The World Cup
Ping
of
pong.
ping pong
Yeah.
World Cup.
Wow. I didn't even
in
know that that was
China.
a thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was super crazy. Like a huge stage in a stadium, and there was one ping pong table, like it looks really small.
Yeah.
in
a big stadium?
In a big stadium,
Wow.
so it was like really funny. And I went there, I sang there, and I started listening to the artists that were in that time in the radio, in the TV, and I heard for the first time K-pop, and I
Okay.
said, okay, I really love the video clips. They were like super crazy with this old technology. And then the music, it was interesting. Sometimes they have mixes of rock and stuff like that. Sometimes of R&B also. And I said, okay, maybe I can do something like that in Guatemala.
That's
in
interesting
Spanish.
because I haven't thought about that because K-pop is pop, but they really focus on the singing more than pop, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like R&B on top of pop.
Yes.
Right.
And the production is really, really, really hard. Like they have sounds that only they can find. I don't know, how can I say it? So I was like, okay, maybe I can try that.
Yeah.
And I started making my my musical proposal that it was K-pop, and I call it Electro K. I
Love
remember.
that. Yeah.
So I started mixing like electronic with pop, with R&B vocals. But then I said, okay, no, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I was like looking for my sound, searching my sound.
I think that you can pretty much experiment with anything, and that's super important to not be afraid. Like you said, don't be afraid to dream big, right? So if I put you on the spot, what's next for Fabiola?
Well, I have a lot of plans. This trip to Oklahoma was my last one of the year.
Okay.
Right now, I'm returning to Guatemala. I have a few concerts. I'm going to be the opening act of a huge artist. I can say it right now. But
Oh,
because
come on,
they don't
nobody's
allow
watching.
me yet. But they are from Mexico.
Yeah.
They're from Mexico. And it's the first time that they are going to have an opening act because they never let anyone
Okay.
to open their show. So I'm so happy about that. And I'm going to start making new music because I'm going to be releasing some duets next year with some Mexican artists, artists from Spain also. And I think I'm going to be doing a lot of stuffs here in the United States.
Wow, that's very cool. Speaking of opening acts, you've opened up for all kinds of people, right? Even Vicente Fernandez. Like, tell me, what are the craziest like shows that you've done where you're like, holy cow, I'm on stage with this artist?
I think when I was the opening act of Eros Ramazzotti.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah.
He's a huge artist. And I remember that show, okay, I was 11 years old when I opened that concert.
11.
Yeah.
Wow.
And because of that concert, I think that it really stays in my mind, you know, like that production, the way he treats his musicians, how the crew, everyone were like so focused in the music. They had a great vibe also, like they were like a family. And I said, okay, I want that. You know, he's a producer, he's a composer. I remember that he went on stage and he made the sound check of the drums. And then he went to the bass. And then
Him
he went,
personally, he was going around.
Yeah, before his musicians.
That's dedication.
Yeah. And then like he travels with this LED, how do you say, like las pantallas LED?
Yeah, LED panels.
Yeah, those ones. Which he bought that one to Pink Floyd.
No way.
Because you know that Pink Floyd was the first band that have this
the big production.
the big production.
Yeah.
And they have a LED that is like a circle.
Okay.
So Eros Ramazzotti bought that one.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
And it was in Guatemala. So I was like, okay, that is from Pink Floyd.
You recognize it. You're like, wait a minute.
I recognize that. And also because of him, I start learning Italian. And I said, okay, someday I'm going to go to Italy and I'm going to sing there.
Yeah.
So it
That's
was
incredible. Well, I think we could talk about music and geek out about, everything forever, but I know you're super busy. So
No, you are super busy.
before we sign off, where can people find you? Go ahead, plug in your social media, any project you got coming up. Where can people find you?
Okay. Well, you can listen to my music on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, everywhere, YouTube, as Fabiola Roudha, Roudha. Fabiola Roudha. You can listen to my album Un Viaje en Espiral, my song with Daniela Romo that it's called Nada.
Yeah.
My recent release that it's called Que Te Vaya Bien.
That one hit my heart.
I know.
Someone hurt you with that one.
Really, that guy broke my heart, and that's what I wrote the song.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, with another tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he gave me tequila before the podcast.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Thanks. Cheers.
Wish you continued success. You're killing it. So don't be afraid to continue to experiment, try new things, dream big.
Thanks. Everyone, dream big, please.
Yeah, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, the super talented Fabiola Roudha on the Maverick Podcast.
Thanks.
In dreams, we trust.